Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, students, parents, families from all over. Welcome to Prairie A&M University's virtual booth here on YouTube. This is something new for me, and I want to say thank you for joining this afternoon on this glorious Labor Day. My name is Jonathan McKissick, and I actually serve as one of the university recruiters with Prairie A&M University. And if you don't know about PV, we are right south, right in the heart, right outside the heart of Houston, Texas. One of the premier HBCUs of the 109. And we are so glad that you had decided to join our booth today. So today I'm just going to be presenting information from our admissions requirements to answering any questions in regards to any of our academic majors, our colleges. If you want to schedule a campus tour, we don't have any in-person tours. We actually only have them virtual, and I will be dropping continuous links throughout today's program that will help you get to our virtual tour so you can actually see what the campus looks like and get a feel for it as well. The live chat feature is open as well, and so I encourage a lot of dialogue, a lot of questions, because there's never a silly question, as they say at the Hill. In any other perspective, high school or any other prospective college that you're interested in. We want you to ask as many questions. We want you to be engaged. This is an excellent platform to utilize. And so I want to first start off by just going over Prairie View and as a general aspect and why a lot of students and families decide on Prairie View. And one is going to be the historical significance of PVAMU. We've been open for over 144 years. So we opened up way back in 1876 as well. And we only started with 8 students, 8 young brave souls. And so now we are just a little over 9,800 total enrollment. So that's going to make us a medium-sized university. We're located just west of Houston as well. So from Prairie View to Houston, it'll take it about 40-minute drive. But to the next major city is only going to be 10 minutes away. So we're the best kept secret in Texas as well. And so we have that opportunity. That's a great opportunity because we have a lot of internships, a lot of connection within the Houston metropolitan area as well. And so that's what happens with a lot of our students. So that's the other reason why I decide on Prairie View. It's just simply based off the location as well. We've also part of the SWAC conference. We're Division I. For athletics as well too, and so we've just recently won. Our women's bowling team actually just won all-state conference as well too. So it's pretty really cool as well. We have a lot of famous alumni from Prairie View as well, and so we're all about our academia, but we also like to have fun. So we also have a very very vibrant student life. Fraternity and Greek life sororities as well too. We have we have one of the largest homecomings as well, and so we're really excited. So I'm going to kind of take a little break there from just kind of give you a little quick overview of the campus. Also, it sits on over 140 acres, so it's a nice sized university as well. We have 8 colleges total, and one of the colleges is actually a school, so it's called the School of Architecture as well. So I'm going to go to the chat because I see a couple questions have come through. To answer your question, this is not a college tour. So I'm actually just going to be presenting information throughout this afternoon. And so if you have any questions, feel free to give me a question. I will post in the chat from time to time our link to our virtual campus tour as well. I do believe that they're saving these videos on YouTube. That's actually a great question. That's going to be through the organizer of the program, not me specifically. I haven't never heard of it yet. The U.S. is very big. I know this is pretty much branched over in the Northeast area. I'm actually from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised as well, and didn't learn about Prairie View until Texas. But thank God for this virtual platform that you can learn more about it. The GPA requirement, that's a great question. So let's kind of go over the admissions process, right? How do I get in? So we utilize what's called the Applied Texas application, which is appliedtexas.org. So you submit that as a $40 application fee. The minimum GPA is going to be a 2.8 on a 4.0 scale, unweighted. Okay. And we look at the ACT and the SAT. So a 15 on the ACT, 800 on the SAT as well. And then once you get those items turned in, we will review. We do have sports scholarships available. Great question. We're Division I once again, so part of the SWAC conference. So it's going to be up to the coaches. They decide to give you a full ride scholarship, a partial. Just depends on your talent if you're going to be able to come with it. What does it take to get a full ride scholarship? That's an excellent question. So we have one full ride scholarship, which is going to be a merit-based scholarship, and it's called the Regents. The Regents scholarship is going to have a minimum of a 3.5 GPA as well, and then also a 26 on the ACT or an 1170 on the SAT. Okay, and we do it by application date. So our application actually been open since July 1st, and that's how we start awarding scholarships. And then it goes to that's just the minimum requirement, and then we take it to our scholarship committee, and they actually make the decision after that for the full ride scholarship. We also have a one that's just under a full ride. It's called the Presidential Scholarship. A little bit lower criteria, 3.25 GPA, as well as a 24 on the ACT or a 1080 on the SAT as well. Okay. Let's see. Got that one. Okay. Are tests optional for next year enrollment? That's actually a great question due to this COVID-19 pandemic. But at Prairie View, we are requiring the ACT and SAT still. I'm sorry, I didn't mention this earlier, but Prairie View A&M University is part of the A&M system. So we're talking about the big house, A&M at College Station. So we are part of that system. We did write a proposal in to get that waived, but at this point in time, it is not being waived. You still need to turn in your ACT and SAT. And those new dates have been listed through College Board on their website. So you can definitely set an opportunity to take your ACT or your SAT as well. Great question. Next question, I would describe campus life. My mom has a job out there in Dallas, and we're going to visit PV. Okay, great question. We do have a vibrant campus life. We have over 140 organizations, and we always continue to add new ones every year, just because a lot of students' interests change, right? So this new app came out. It's called Pokemon Go. I guess we've been playing it for a while. So we had a group of students. It always started off with 9 students because you need a minimum of 8 to start a new organization. But then it went from 9 to 22 in a matter of like 3 weeks. And so that's one of the new organizations on campus. If you're part of, if you want to become a part of a frat sorority, we do have that. We have the Yard, so that's where all the Greek plots are located at as well. A lot of religious organizations, as well as our social action organizations, such as like the NAACP, is also very, very vibrant on campus as well. The campus is open right now. You can drive on the campus, but we aren't conducting any in-person campus tours. So if you decide to drive out to Prairie View, if you're in the Houston or Dallas, Austin, San Antonio area, those are going to be all of our 4 major cities in Texas. You may certainly drive through the campus and get a feel for it, but we do have the virtual tour available as well. Just to reiterate, the ACT and SAT is required this year. And our academic scholarships are merit-based, so they're based off your high school GPA as well as your test scores as well too. Okay, and so it's based off of when you apply. Once again, the application has been open since July. Appliedtexas.org as well. So we'll try to put that in the chat as well. It's appliedtexas.org. The application fee is $40, 15 ACT. And 800 on the SAT as well. Okay, so just kind of put that down for you all as well. Let's see, what is your acceptance rate? Oh, great question. So Ms. Kennedy, it kind of depends on what aspect of the acceptance rate, because we have, for example, we have the College of Nursing. Well, you have to apply to the university, and you have to do your first 2 years, and then you got to apply to the College of Nursing. But I can give you a general acceptance rate, okay? And right now it's going to be at 87% acceptance rate. So for our incoming freshmen. Great question. School of Architecture. The School of Architecture is actually going to be a unique program. As soon as you get admitted to the institution, it's just a matter of being college ready. And so I know a lot of you all are probably from out of state, but in Texas we have what's called the TSI, which is short for the Texas Success Initiative Exam. And once again, it's called the TSI. And so based off a student's test score, so the ACT or SAT determines if they're college ready to take certain courses, okay? And so what that means is, let's say you fall below those test score requirements to be college ready for math, then you would take the TSI exam to show that you are college ready based off of the score that you achieved. So for the School of Architecture, it's just that you have to go into that program college ready. You can't take any remedial courses, okay? Have to go straight into it. Can you actually contact colleges to HB? That's actually a great question. I believe so. They do have all of our contact information. I'm pretty sure they're going to be listed on their website as well too, since they are the organizer of the event. Once again, applications available now, Taylor, as well. Class 2021 may certainly apply now. ApplyTexas.org as well. For our Regents and our presidential scholarships, there are going to be we do have a certain cap that we do provide every year, and it changes on a yearly basis. And so right now we're not sure how many we will award, but it's typically going to be over 50. So typically, okay. But with the COVID-19 and some administrative things that we have going on at the university, we might see it might go up from 50 to 80 or 90. It just kind of depends on how many that we can offer at the time. Cost per year, excellent question. So you're gonna be looking at about $9,700 in-state tuition and fees, room and board, and meal plan. Once again, is a little over $9,800 per semester. Out of state, you're gonna be looking at around 16, like 16,800 for out of state as well. So for the cost per year, so it's a great question as well. Yeah, the GPA requirements for the Regent Scholarship. Once again, it's gonna be a 3.5. minimum GPA, okay? 3.5 minimum GPA with a 26 on the ACT, okay, or an 1190 on the SAT, okay? So 3.5, 26 ACT, and or an 1190 on the SAT, okay? Excuse me. Information about the 5-year BS/MS Computer Electrical Engineering program. Yeah, so we do have that. We do offer that at Prairie. So it's considered a 4+1. So you pretty much do 5 years and you can get your master's degree in actually all of our areas of engineering as well too. Not specific on computer electrical. We also have mechanical as well and civil engineering as well too as an option for engineering. And our engineering program is phenomenal. We actually graduate the most minority engineers in the state as well. And we've had that for about 7. Well, no, it'll be going on 8 years in January that we graduate the most minority engineers in the state as well. How do you describe the Greek life on campus? Greek life on campus is awesome. I'm a proud member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And so it's a great Greek life. There's a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of events that all of our Greek life hosts as well. Very big on scholarship as well too. So a lot of the organizations on campus do provide opportunities for students to do community service. They're very vocal as well too. Right now we have the vote campaign going on right now on campus, and encourage our students to vote because our students are on campus this fall, so they did move into their residence halls. At Prairie View, we don't have dorms. Dorms is like if you go into jail. Okay, we have residence halls, and so it's just like if you were living in the suburbs, you're gonna be living very, very comfortable on campus as well too. So we call that our residence halls. We do have a theater department as well too. They put on about 4 productions per year. They work a lot with the music department as well too, and theater can also be as a minor as well. Let me see, make sure I didn't skip anyone. Answer the tuition about out of state, so it's going to be a little over 16, like 16,800 for tuition fees, room and board, and meal plan. You are required to start your test scores to apply. 15 ACT or 800 on the SAT as well. The application is available now, so if you are a rising senior or just started your senior year, you may certainly go ahead and go to applytexas.org and be able to start the application process as well. The minimum GPA to stay in nursing school is an excellent question. So anybody that's interested in nursing, okay, at Prairie you get admitted your freshman year. You do your first 2 years on our main campus, okay, and then you actually apply to our College of Nursing campus, which is going to be downtown Houston in the Medical Center. It's actually right across the street from Rice University as well. And they also have their own set of residence halls as well too in the downtown medical center area as well. So with the minimum GPA to stay in nursing school is going to be a 3.25 as well. It is a very vigorous program, and they usually per cohort let in about 100 students per semester. So they usually get about 700-800 applications, and so they'll let in 100 based off their specific criteria, and they also have their own admissions process as well. 20 on the ACT is good because once again the minimum ACT is a 15 with at least a 2.8 high school GPA is the minimum requirements. If you've taken the SAT, the minimum once again will be an 800. Okay, 800 SAT or 15 on the ACT, at least a 2.8 high school GPA will get you admitted into Prairie View. Also, part of our acceptance process, we do go off the class rank for auto acceptance. Okay, so let's say you submit your transcript to us. If you're in the top 25% of your class, then you will be automatically admitted into Prairie View. Okay. The caveat is that you still need to turn in your documents. Okay. So if you have your transcript and you have you have to turn your transcript and your test scores, because once again we're going to be utilizing that for the scholarship portion of it as well. Okay. So we do have a priority deadline date as well for our application process. What I was trying to get to earlier, but it is January 4th. Okay, is our priority deadline date. And you might ask, Mr. McKissick, what does that mean? Okay, so priority equals money, money equals priority. Okay, so if you apply and get admitted by January 4th, then you'll be considered for our institutional scholarship. So not only the Regents and the Presidential, as well as our departmental scholarships, our university scholarship, like our general application as well too. And so you have to meet that deadline. Now you might ask, all right, Mr. McKissick, I applied January 10th. Can I still come in the fall? And the answer to your question is yes, because the regular application deadline day will be March 1st. Okay, so March 1st is the absolutely last day you can apply for my class coming in August. Okay, so priority January 4th equals money, money equals priority. Okay, so you want to apply and get admitted by that date. Let's say you don't because you're still kind of undecided, you're still college searching, okay, or as I like to say, college window shopping, kind of looking around. Then you have until March 1st to still be admitted into Prairie View. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right. Let me go ahead and get back to the chat because they have been rolling in. AP credits, great question. So AP credits do transfer from high school. How it works is you have to take your AP exam. You have to score at least a 4 to receive college credit. Okay, that's the first thing. Second, it has to be on your transcript as well. That's very, very critical. Same thing with dual credit. If I have any students out there that's are go-getters and they're doing their dual credit, we're gonna need that collegiate transcript. Okay, we can't take the courses off the high school transcript. We need the collegiate transcript. Okay, so through whatever your partner is for dual credit, community college, we need that transcript submitted at the time of application, and we turn in your other transcripts. Okay, great question. So once again, when you apply, it's going to be through applytexas.org. I put it in the chat. You might have to scroll to the top a little bit. It's applytexas.org, $40 application fee. We do accept fee waivers, which we have 3 different types that we accept: the ACT, the SAT, as well as the NAC fee waiver as well. Okay, and so we do encourage our students to submit their fee waivers if they need to, and you can just simply email those to admissions at pvanu.edu as well. And I just put there the email as well in the chat as well for you to look. Okay, we do offer psychology as well as one of our departments as well. No minimum GPA for psychology. Once you apply to university, you go right into psychology. as well, and then continue your 4 years. They also have a master's program, and we also have a doctoral program in psychology as well if you'd like to continue on. Uh, for dentistry, we don't have our own dental school, but we do encourage our students to become a biology major, and they have a pre-med concentration as well. And so we also have a unique organization, well, actually discipline really. It's called an Undergraduate Medical Academy, or UMA. And right now they have a 91% acceptance rate into medical school, and that's been for the past 10 years as well. So a lot of our students are biology majors, and their focus is pre-med. And then if you want to go to dentistry school, you get your undergraduate degree, and then after that, you can continue on into dental school as well. Okay, great question. Also for any of my students that's interested in physical therapy, athletic training, we do have kinesiology and health as well, and we can also build that pre-med concentration there as well. And what the pre-med concentration does is our advisors are going to sit with you and they're going to say, hey, what medical school you want to go to? And you're going to be sitting back like, wow, this is my first semester. I have no idea. Then that means you late. So if you're interested in going to medical school, you should know what medical school you want to go to right now. Okay? Because our advisors are geared to make sure that you get into medical school. The only way they can help you get into it is if you tell them what medical school you want to go to. So we can do our due diligence and communicate with them to ensure, one, we keep our reputability up, and then also to get you to continue on to medical school. So that's going to be for any of my medical profession students that are interested in continuing their studies. Hello, Frank. Nice to meet you. You do still need the SAT and ACT to apply. We have not omitted that in our application process as well. We don't have aerospace engineering specifically as a major, Ms. Carey, but we do have the closest for aerospace would be like our chemical engineering, civil engineering as well too. So those are kind of the two options, and then you can matriculate into a master's program that specifically focuses on aerospace engineering. We do take IB credit as well, and so there is a certain scale of which in the Office of Admissions office has to dictate the IB. For anybody that doesn't know what IB credit is, it's the interbaccalaureate credit. Okay, similar to like dual credit or AP coursework, but a different type of track. So we do accept IB credit. Great question. You can submit your application without having your test scores attached. So you don't have to come to us with everything combined in one packet. You can literally go to applietexas.org, submit your application. Okay, you don't even have to pay for it. Okay, so you can submit it, and then you can go back to our website and pay for it later. Or if you're having a fee waiver, you would select the fee waiver option, and then you can get that fee waiver submitted to us later on. Okay, same thing with the test score, same thing with the high school transcript. Okay, but the best thing to do is apply. It's free. You don't have to pay for it as soon as you apply. We always suggest students just apply, put it in there, and then if you decide to send us the rest of the documentation and the application fee, so if you're very, very interested. Excellent question. On the Fair Test website, it states you got test optional is accurate. That is not accurate. But I'm not sure which Fair Test you're referring to. But please put that in the chat to answer my question, so I can help better facilitate that question. What is fun you can do in the city? Great question. So we're right outside of Houston. So Houston is literally about 35 minute drive from the campus. Now the actual city of Prairie View is rural. Okay, so the city is very, very small. There's probably they say 18,000 people there, but you got to count the university, which is a little over 9,800. So the other half are local residents of Prairie View. Okay, but you can drive literally 10 minutes to another city called Cypress, which is a huge suburb of Houston. Okay, I mean huge. They have 12 high schools out there, so it's a massive city, and that's where students go to the mall, go to the movies, go to Chipotle, kick back, have some Starbucks. So that's where a lot of students go. That's going to be coming east. If you go further west, it's still going to become a little bit more rural. But then you're going to hit like Bryan, Texas, where Blinn College is, a big powerhouse in athletics. And then College Station is going to be an additional about 30 miles up. So that's another kind of major city around. Great question. And then actually on the campus in Prairie View, we do have our own bowling alley. Of course, you have all the athletic events as well too. And our student life department does an at excellent opportunities for students to get involved on campus. And there's always different things going on. Even during our COVID-19, we pretty much converted all of our events to virtual, and the students are having a really, really good time with it. We incorporating a badge system, and so now they can have the opportunity to accumulate a lot of badges, and they can also win like really, really cool prizes and things of that sort. Let's see. We do have a good volleyball program as well. Once again, Division I SWAC conference as well. And if anybody's interested in athletics, it's going to be pbpanthers.com is our athletics website. Okay, all of our coach information, NCAA eligibility information is all available on that website. Okay, so it's public knowledge. So definitely go check out if you have any specific questions about athletics. I do not recruit for athletics. I am strictly academics. Okay. So our athletic, we have our athletics that are available to help any of our athletes, matriculate into that Division I competitive spirit. We do take dual enrollment, dual credit. We do accept those credits, so they will transfer over as well. I remember it's my strong side these. Oh, kudos! Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for showing the love. So we have a parent that's watching in right now, and his or her son is part of our March of Storm, which is our band, the best band in the land. Last year we have 435 or 436 members of our band as well. They travel and they win a lot of competitions. So if you ever watch Battle of the Bands in Atlanta, you'll know that our band comes with it. Let's see, grade requirements for scholarships. For scholarships for our merit, once again, it's 26 ACT or 1190 on the SAT, who leads a 3.5 GPA. That's going to be our full ride. And then our presidential scholarship, 3.25, 24 on the ACT, and then a 1090 on the SAT as well. So great question. We do have a vocal music program. We also have choir as well too, if you're interested. And we also have theater. So a lot of students will major in music or minor in theater or vice versa, and you can both as well. Same thing with anybody in our band. A band student does not have to be a music major. We have students that are in the band that are chemistry majors, engineering, agriculture as well too. So whatever you want to major in, you can definitely do so as well. Hello, Victoria. Nice to say hi to you. Is an essay required for class of 2022? You see, I see corrected, 2021. We are requiring our test scores right now for our upcoming fall semester application process. But you don't have to submit everything at once. You can do the apply text application, and then maybe 2 weeks later submit your high school transcript, and then 2 weeks later you can submit your test scores. Also, for our test scores, we do not super score. You might have heard that term before. Super score means that they would take the median, or median, pretty my math people, right? They're going to take the average of your test scores, okay? And so, but instead, we take the highest. So let's say you took the SAT 3 times. First time, you fell asleep, you got a 650. Second time you took it, you got a 1210. And the third time you took it, you got a 975. Well, we're going to just look at the 1210 and not even going to worry about the other 2. Okay, so we'll always take the highest in any predicament as well. We do have courses for you to get to become a surgeon. Once again, that's going to be our pre-med track through our biology department as well. We do offer dual enrollment, dual credit courses. Definitely will transfer in long as their core curriculum, which means like your basics, English, history, math, poli-sci, foreign language, Spanish, Chinese as well. Let's see, public speaking as well too. Biology, chemistry, all those are transferring if those are your dual enrollment courses. You guys have any? Oh man, my cursor jumped. Sorry. Let's see. There we go. I don't want to skip anybody's question. Okay. Let me see. Okay. There we go. I got kind of trigger happy, right? Good question. Do you guys have any writing programs and majors? If so, screenwriting, creative writing in general. Okay, great question. So we do have language and communications. as well too, which has a mass media component as well. So that's going to be your television broadcast, newspaper, and radio as well too. We do have creative writing. We don't have screenwriting because we don't have a film concentration. So ours is going to be radio, television, and newspaper outlets as well. Will they transfer from Georgia? Yes, they sure will. Dual credit courses can come from any state because typically dual credit is going to be offered through a community college, and we take any college credits around the nation as well too, as well as internationally as well. So great question. We do have a nursing program. It's actually our oldest program on campus. They just celebrated their centennial last year as well. They have their own campus. It's downtown Houston Medical Center. How the nursing program works is that you apply to Prairie View and you come to the main campus, which is in Prairie View, Texas, and then you do your first 2 years or your core curriculum. So you do like your anatomy, your physiology as well, your microbiology. Then you take your entrance exam, and then you apply to the College of Nursing. They usually have a cohort of 100 students, and they typically get anywhere from 700 to 800 applications per semester as well. So a very, very competitive program. We do have football, Division I SWAC conference as well. So we do have a football program. We are sponsored by Adidas here at Prairie View as well too. We do have a new $40 million stadium. We just built it. This is on year 4 right now. So very, very nice, great stadium. Definitely check it out on the website as well too. How big are the sports medicine programs? Great question. So we do have sports medicine, kinesiology, and health. Our students get to work right alongside with our athletes as well in the training room as well, starting their sophomore year. We don't like to put a lot of our freshmen right there on the field quite yet. We want to make sure that they can get acclimated to the college life because when you transition from high school to college, it's going to be totally different, okay? And some of our students are prepared. It just kind of depends on, and also your advisor will be able to work with you to help get that hands-on training starting your sophomore year as well. We do have study abroad programs. Great question, Michaela. We do have affiliations with 48 different countries around the world. We have short-term study abroad programs, and we have long-term study abroad programs. So a short term could be a week long. It could be like a 1 month program as well too. Our long programs will be like summer 1 session, maybe a whole fall semester or a year-long program as well. And we do have those opportunities for our students. Another neat, cool feature at Prairie View is that we have what's called Passport Caravan. And what that is that gives out the university opportunity to give away free passports. And we typically give away anywhere from 120 to 140 per year as well. And a student simply just has to be interested in study abroad, or they can go to our multicultural affairs office and say, hey, me and my family are traveling abroad and I was kind of interested in the passport. And of course, there's an application process for it and it's a selection based, but that's a great opportunity. But we also do the passport photos here. We do have the post office as well too that can get that situated for you as well. Do you have a teacher program? Oh yes. So our teacher program is going to be called interdisciplinary studies as well through the College of Education. We have K through 12 and we have special education too. That's also another major where you can get your master's as well as you can get your a doctor of ED as well too at Prairie View as well. All the classrooms have state-of-the-art technology as well too. So when you matriculate from being a student and being able to teach, you're going to be able to flow right into the classroom. It's a seamless process as well too. Excuse me. What does Lockheed Martin do on campus? Oh, that's actually a good question. So Lockheed Martin is actually one of our partnering companies with their career services department. And so we have it's short for MOU. So we have an agreement to where they come out, they interview a lot of our students, and a lot of our students get paid internships through Lockheed Martin as well. And then they have sponsored a couple of the rooms that are within our career services department as well too. Great question. Let's see. Can freshmen bring cars? Ooh, if your parents let you bring it, then we don't mind if you bring it. Okay. So to answer your question, yes, freshmen can. They are allowed to have their cars on campus. Our parking cost is $100 for the year. So $15 in the fall, $50 in the spring semester. If you stay in the summer, it's $25 per summer session. Okay, so parking is not going to be crazy expensive. It's not hard to park on campus as well, because as I mentioned earlier, that we are a rural campus, so we do have enough parking for our students, and a lot of students love that they are allowed to have their cars their first year. But don't be ashamed if you don't have your car your first year. We do have a partnership with Zipcar, and Zipcar is going to be a rental car service, and it's actually on our campus. So we have 4 or 5 Zipcars that students can rent out if they want to use it for the weekend or if they're going to go visit their family. So that's an option. The third option is we do have shuttle service on campus. So we have shuttles that are on campus that'll take you to or from class. We do have off-campus shuttles where, let's say, you wake up one early Sunday morning and go to the farmers market, because the next city over first Hempstead, which just the past 25 years, just recently, but before that, Hempstead, Texas was actually the watermelon capital of Texas. So that's where all of our students going to get some good watermelon at. So a lot of students like to go the shuttle service for that. And last but not least, the shuttle can also get you to the airport and pick you up from the airport. That is an additional cost. It's $45 per way or one way. Well, and that will get you to our airport. And in Houston, we have 2. We have Bush Intercontinental Airport, and then we also have Hobby as well too. So all my Southwest fans, they fly into Hobby, and then pretty much every other airline will go through Intercontinental as well. But they're both very, very large airports. What is needed for an engineering scholarship? It kind of depends on the actual department, and then how many they can give out per year as well. So that would be when you have to visit the department's website, because those are ever changing as well too. We do offer a band scholarship as well, so you can get scholarship money if you are a part of our band, the Marching Storm, as well. And they also have their criteria available on the website. Our band department does recruit as well, so if you do get in contact with our band, I always encourage students to include some footage, or say where you're practicing now, what you've been a part of, what competitions, because our band is just as top notch as our athletics, and they recruit the exact same way. Great question. Yes. So yes, let me reintroduce myself. So my name is Jonathan McKissick. I'm actually a staff member within the Office of Student Recruitment. I'm also the campus engagement coordinator. So my job is to facilitate a lot of our campus visits, our campus events on campus, as well as our campus visits, and make sure our recruiters get to their respective regions and areas, as well as over our welcome centers. So all of our tour guides and all of our campus tours as well. But also recruit typically the northeast of the U.S. as well as southeast Texas, which is going to be from Houston over to like Beaumont, Galveston area, and Corpus Christi area as well. So great question as well. And I will leave my contact information below at the conclusion of the program today. Okay, let's see, make sure. Didn't jump on. Okay, so our business majors. We do have the College of Business. So we have accounting, economics, finance, international business. We also have our stock trading room. So our students actually get to buy, sell, and trade stock right on campus as well. And also the College of Business academic building is actually our newest academic building on campus. It's very, very beautiful. It has a clock tower that rings on every hour. We do have a psychology program as well too. So the minimum GPA to be admitted to the institution is going to be a 2.8, high school GPA with at least a 15 on the ACT, or an SAT on or an 800 on the SAT as well. And then if you're in the top 25% of your class, it'll be automatic admission to Prairie View as well. Once again, yes, freshmen can have their cars their first year. So if you have a vehicle and mom and dad or family member or guardian is like, cool, then yes, go ahead and bring it on down to Prairie View. That's perfectly okay. How's homecoming? That's a great question. I don't know if that's a trick question. I might be an alumni. But our homecoming is phenomenal, okay? It's very, very large, okay? Last year, we had about 18 to 20,000 people there. At homecoming, it's a week long. We have a very, very proud alumni from Prairie View. Okay, and they come back to their school every homecoming, as well as Spring Fest, which is typically our event in the spring. Now, unfortunately, due to the COVID-19, our homecoming has been canceled this year, but we are looking forward to bringing it back next year. How are the dorms set up? Like, is it spacious? Good question. Good question. So our incoming freshmen live in University College. Okay, and also we don't have dorms at on our campus. We don't call them that. We call them residence halls. Okay, because you're going to be a resident. You're going to be living there. You're going to be there every day. Okay, if you go into a dorm, it's kind of like you going to jail. We don't want you to feel like that at all. Okay, so you're gonna have that living experience. So our freshmen, it's an open concept, but they have their bathroom is right in the middle of their suite. So let's picture yourself walking in. You see a bed, a dresser, your desk, and you also have a closet with a full body mirror. Okay, so I know all my ladies like, yay, full body mirror. Guys is like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. So then in the middle is gonna be your bathroom. So you share a bathroom with only one other person, which is gonna be your suite mate. And right on the other side of the bathroom is their room, their prospective room. Okay. We do provide a refrigerator and microwave that is shared amongst both of you as well too. And then also we have TV rooms and study rooms in all of our residence halls, right there in University College as well. And then we also have a computer lab, movie theater, and also the business office. And then all of your advisors are located right there in University College. So it is a residential college model. And it has been working for us for a very long time. And so that's where you be living at, University College. Any of my students that are in an honors program, they have the opportunity to live at University Square, which is going to be upperclassmen housing as well. Let me see. It jumped on me again. Let's see. Let's scroll up. Our applications are in now on Apply Texas. They've been open since July. So if you go to applytexas.org, you are able to submit your application. Like if you wanted to put it in tonight, you certainly can. Yes, we are having talks about the Common Black College application. We're talking to our leadership to see. It's a little bit difficult because the staff, my staff are the ones that are on the ground running. And we know the benefit of the Common Black College application. So we are in talks with that. It probably won't be implemented this school year. It will probably be something for next school year, but definitely thank you for reaching out to us as well. Testing is not optional. Right now, the ACT and SAT is required. Okay, you do need to submit that to get an admissions decision. Okay, we did write a proposal. It was denied. And so at this point in time, the SAT and ACT is still required. Okay. For admissions purposes as well as for scholarships, okay? But regardless, if you go to another institution, they say it's optional and you don't take it, but let's say you're interested in a scholarship that requires your test scores, yeah, you got to admit it to the institution, but now you can't apply for the scholarship because you didn't take the test score. So regardless if the ACT or SAT is optional for admissions purposes, I encourage you students to definitely take it because for scholarship, they're still going to require it because that's a big indicator for scholarship awarding. Okay, and that's not just at Prairie. That's going to be at any institution, whether it's HBCU or any other institution, HSI. They're still going to be using those test scores for scholarship opportunities as well. Excuse me. Do you guys have women's studies as a minor or major? We don't. The only Pacific is going to be African American studies as well, for male or female. So we don't have a women's studies minor and major. Freshmen are not required, but it's highly, highly encouraged. And I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. Oh, and the question was, are freshmen required to live on campus the first year? Okay. Given our geographical location, being outside of Houston, we do have commuter students. Okay. That's just point blank period. Okay. But a lot of our students still want to stay on campus because all their resources are there. They're going to get the student life aspect as well too. You're going to get that encouragement to continue your studies and to do well. Okay, so if you live off campus, let's say you're living at home, okay, and you're deciding to come back to campus. Let's say you get out of class at 3 o'clock. And you're thinking, oh, I'm good. I got a little snack from the Panther Grill, head home, watch the game, and then it's time to study. And you looking up at 7 o'clock now. You're like, oh man, I really need to go to the tutoring center, but I don't feel like driving back to campus to go to the tutoring center. Okay. So it's like if you live on campus, you have that roommate and say, hey, we can just go together. Because actually you encouraged me to study, so let's go together. You're gonna be there in 1 minute. Okay. And the data shows that if you stay on campus any year, so your freshman year all the way through your senior year, that you're gonna succeed better. The graduation rate is better for all of our students that live on campus compared to all of our commuter students. Okay, and just to give you an idea, I mean, we just enrolled a little over 1,900 freshmen this upcoming fall semester, and so they're all on campus for the most part, with the exception of about 150. Some decide to commute. Some, given the COVID-19 situation, decide to do online learning. So it's definitely an option as well too. So it just kind of depends, but I always encourage all of my students, especially my freshmen, to definitely live on campus your first year. Let's see. Yeah, so SAT and ACT are still used for admissible purposes as well as for scholarships. Okay, and we do offer a master's program in computer science. And yes, you can. It's part of the 4+1 program, so you can get the bachelor's and master's in about 5 years. Can you talk? Okay, so we don't have a Pacific Law program. We do have a pre-law track through our political science department as well. So a lot of our students that want to go to Prairie for the undergraduate experience, they still come. And then some of them matriculate to our sister school, TSU, down there right in the heart of Houston, because they do have Thurgood Marshall School of Law. And so a lot of students will matriculate there as well. It kind of depends, but we don't have our own Pacific Law program. Oh, great question, Morgan. So she asked, are we doing on-the-spot acceptance today? We are not. We're not doing on-the-spot admissions, and we don't have a link for a free undergraduate application. The only way to waive your application fee is going to be through your ACT fee waiver, an SAT fee waiver, or the NACAC fee waiver as well. Okay, that was a great question. Honor societies have an affiliation with people who have credit to application. Oh, we do have affiliations with some of our national honor societies. Our biggest one is going to be the Transfer Honor Society right now, currently, but we do have different honor societies as well. And they, you can put that on the application as well. But we have an automated process. But whenever a student is maybe on the cusp of being admitted, then we will look at those extracurricular activities, special interests, things of that sort as well. What is food like on campus? Great question. So we're actually sponsored by Sodexo. And so we have a couple areas for students to eat on campus. We have the MSC, which is going to be your cafeteria style food. So you have a lot of different areas from pizza to, we also have big traditions like on Friday is Catfish Fridays. So you can definitely eat really, really good on campus. We have the Panther Grill, which is going to be more of your home cooked food. And then we also have the Zone. The Zone is going to be for anybody that has any dietary restrictions or just want to eat healthy that day. So that's going to be your low-cal, keto-friendly type of food option. And then we have what's called Panther Plaza. And Panther Plaza has a fine dining restaurant. It's called the Bistro on 1876. And that's where it's really funny because that's where it's really busy, like on Valentine's Day. So that's all the students, that's where they go have like the little date night for Valentine's Day because it's a little pricey. 2 students go. It's not part of the meal plan, and it's like if you're going out to like a Cheddar's or, Ruby Tuesdays or somewhere like that as well, or Fridays type of style. They have karaoke on Thursdays, and then we also have a Starbucks brewery, so they do brew Starbucks coffee as well too on campus. So it's definitely something to look into as well. Let me see. Hold on, it jumped on me just a tad. We don't have African American Studies as a major currently. It is a minor, but it will matriculate into a major. Our president actually has told us, which our president is Dr. Ruth Simmons as well, a former president of Brown University as well. And so that is a big mission because we didn't have African American Studies at all before she came to Prairie, and she's been here over 2 years now. So that is something that'll matriculate into a major as well. It's a great question. What's your mission at Prairie? Our mission is to produce productive Panthers. It's simple as that. Okay, when you come to Prairie View, you're gonna have a good time. But our data shows and our results show that we're gonna graduate you on time in those 4 years, okay, or even earlier, okay. One of my student workers, she just finished up her undergraduate degree and she just turned 21. But she came in there mid business and she was in 6 organizations as well too. And so our mission is that we produce productive people or productive Panthers. So productive Panthers while they're in college and productive people once they reach society. Great question. We don't have our own Pacific Law program, so you can go to pre-law track through political science. But our other HBCU family, TSU in Houston, does have their own law school. So a lot of our students like to have that Prairie View experience undergrad, and then they matriculate to their law school, which is called Thurgood School of Law, as well. You don't have to write an essay for admissible purposes. Once again, everything is auto decision for us. So we once the test scores are entered, transcript information, application fee, and the application is in, then we make a decision based off of that as well. Okay, hold on, jumped on me again. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, so the 1890 scholarship. We do accept the 1890 scholarship. Now it's not within our office, it's actually through the agency of who offers it. That's kind of like the Agricultural Human Sciences College. We'll have more information on the 1890 scholarship because they're the ones that award it. So it's not a general scholarship for the university, that's specific for that college. Just for clarity, yes. So test scores are still mandatory to get an admissions decision at Prairie View. Okay, you don't have to have everything submitted at the same time. So if you want to go to applytexas.org this evening and apply, you can. You don't even have to pay tonight. Okay, it's not free, but you can submit the application without having to pay tonight, which is a $40 application fee. And then once you do take that ACT or SAT, you do want to put Prairie View down so we can receive your test scores, okay? So that's definitely something that definitely want to do, and that is still mandatory. PVAMU is not, we are not on the Common Black College application. We are strictly on applytexas.org, okay? And I did put that in the chat. I'm going to put it in here again, which is applytexas.org, okay? And that's our only application. We don't have any paper apps. Everything is going to be through applytexas.org. So great question. Do you guys have freshman sororities? We do. We have all of the 9. We also have a lot of other different Greek affiliated organizations as well. Very, very big on campus. I'm actually a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated as well. And so we do have all of our Greek life on campus as well. Very, very major in the community as well too, and a great opportunity for a community service as well, and also a great networking opportunity. We do have a psychology program as well. And yeah, we don't have a law program. You're correct. We do have political science as a pre-law track as well. So definitely something to think about. We don't have radiology. Unfortunately, typically radiology is going to be a 2-year program. And the reason I know this because I've been doing a lot of research on college universities. If you're looking to move to Texas, Midwestern State University has a 4-year radiology program as well. So if you're interested in coming to Texas, Midwestern will be the best spot, but it's typically going to be a 2-year program. You can request your roommate. So through the housing process, you have to apply around the same time because that's how it's going to make it easier for them to match you two together, okay? But you do have the opportunity to pick your roommate as well, so that is something that's a benefit. A lot of students love to do that. I've seen it on both spectrums. I've seen students that come in, they want to live with someone and it's worked out good. And I've also seen some students that like, I got to move away from her or him in a week or 2 weeks. Because, you might be best friends in high school, right? But you never live with your best friend in high school. You just see each other every day. Y'all go eat ice cream together, go catch a movie, talk on Instagram or something. But when you living with somebody, you're like, oh, okay, it's not what it cracked up to be. And sometimes friendships get ruined So some students are actually best friends when they come to college, but they also like having that random roommate because hey, they might be able to make their circle bigger and learn something, learn something about another individual a little bit differently. So that's a great question. Let's see. Oh, sorry, it jumped on me again. Okay. Um, yeah, the psychology program is a very good program. And you're gonna hear that from every university. Okay, but I want to tell you why Prairie View's psychology program is good. One, we have our own courtroom on campus, which is part of our college juvenile justice psychology department. So a lot of our psychology majors get to actually go in there and witness actual live court cases happening. Because sometimes we have Waller County is in there, and then we also have sometimes student conduct office uses it as well. That's the first thing. Second is going to be research, 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 research. To be a good psychologist, you have to do a lot of research, you have to do a lot of writing, a lot of reading. And we prep our students to do that starting their freshman year. Okay. And then you can also matriculate into the master's program. So once you get that master's degree, you can open up your own clinic and run your own practice. And so that's a lot of things they're kind of looking for these days as well. So they're working for somebody, they want to be their own entrepreneur, and psychology is a great route, and then it's highly needed as well. Let's see. Oh, pre-veterinarian. We do have a pre-veterinarian program. Great question. That's going to be through the College of Agriculture and Human Sciences. And so we do have our veterinarian program track through there. And we also have dietitian as well as also part of ag as well as animal science. We do have our own farm at Prairie View as well too. So that's where you can actually go see all of our animals and all of our herbs and different grasses, different grass strains as well as greenhouse. But we do have the pre-veterinarian program, and we do have a veterinarian museum on campus as well too. So that's actually definitely a great program to be interested in. The SAT requirement for freshmen is going to be an 800 minimum, 15 on the ACT as well, and then the GPA minimum requirement is going to be a 2.8 on an unweighted scale as well. Okay. The required GPA once again is a 2.8 minimum, 15 ACT, or an 800 on the SAT as well. Okay. Dentistry, the closest dentistry would be through the pre-med track, which is going to be a biology student. Okay. I mentioned a little bit earlier that we do have the undergraduate medical academy. They have a 91% acceptance rate into medical school. So a lot of our students that are interested in dentistry or they want to become anesthesiologists or neonatal, they go through that track to get admitted to medical school, and then they continue their studies on from there. Does PBF? We do. We have all 4 branches for ROTC as well. Definitely a great opportunity. Ours is going to be a non-commission based program, meaning that once you join ROTC, we allow you to be in ROTC for up to 2 years before you have to make a commitment to becoming an officer in one of our 4 branches of our armed services as well. And so, but after those 2 years, you will commission and you will finish your undergraduate degree, and then you will go right on ahead and become an officer in one of our military branches as well. Yes, the SAT and ACT is still required for this year. I know that's going to be a big question. It is still required. It's still required. It's still required. Okay. Okay. So definitely keep that in mind. 15 ACT or an 800 on the SAT with a 2.8 high school GPA. The application fee is $40. Okay. We are not offering any free waivers at all this evening. The only fee waivers we accept is going to be the ACT, the SAT, or the NACAC fee waiver as well. Okay. What sports do you have for women? Okay. So we have a good number of sports for women. So you have your basketball, track and field, cross country, bowling, tennis, golf as well too, and volleyball as well. So and did I say bowling? I think I did say bowling. But if I didn't, we also have bowling too as well. And so if you're interested in any of those, once again, you want to go to pvpanthers.com. That's going to be our athletics website as well for more information. The required SAT is going to be 800 minimum. Okay. We do have scholarships for people with 3.5 GPA. That's going to be that's the minimum for our Regent scholarship, which is our full ride. But you also have to have the test score with it as well. So 3.5 with a 26 ACT or an 1190 on the SAT. Okay, to make you at that criteria for our Regents scholarship. We don't have forensic science as a major or minor right now. A lot of our students will major in chemistry and minor in criminal justice, because that's essentially what a forensic science degree is anyways. And so that's what a lot of our students end up deciding to do. Are you allowed to bring pets? Oh, that's a great question. If it's not a service animal, then the answer to that is going to be no. Okay. We do not allow any of our residence halls to have any of our pets. Any pets, because pets become distracting, or sometimes our students wouldn't take care of them. But if it's going to be a service animal, then you may certainly be able to talk to the housing department to get that allowed. Let's see, our freshmen required to stay on campus. They're not required to, but it's going to be highly, highly recommended. Okay, as I was kind of mentioning a little bit earlier, we did the data, and it shows that a lot of our students are more successful once they live on campus. Not only for freshmen, but for freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors as well too. And it's a matter of, just because you're living on campus, you're getting campus life. All your resources are there. If you have to go to your professor's office hours, you can. So those are different benefits of staying on campus, and that's what helps our students become very, very, very successful upon graduation as well. Do we have cheer or swim? Okay, great question. We don't have a swim team, but we do have a cheerleading squad. And the cheerleading does get a stipend, I believe, every semester. It's like for like books, I believe, like $500. And that application or tryout, I should say, typically opens up in February or March of the upcoming school year. So if you're a senior right now, you want to start looking on the website around February or March for our cheerleading tryouts as well. This past year, I believe they submitted videos, and due to the COVID as well, they have virtual tryouts. So that's definitely an option. And see, this person's answer and helping me answer all these questions. Yes, you can bring your car your first year. Cost is going to be $100 for the year, so 15 in the fall, 15 in spring. And if you do decide to stay during the summertime, it's $25 for each summer session. Okay, so the most you ever spend on parking per year is only $150 as well. Okay, I think that was the last question I seen. I just want to make sure I answered everyone's questions. Once again, just so you know who I am, my name is Jonathan McKissick, and I serve as a university recruiter, as well as a campus engagement coordinator at Prairie A&M University within the Office of Student Recruitment, which is going to be under the branch of the Office of Enrollment Management as well. So definitely a staff member at the university. I did not attend Prairie View as well. I know maybe some people were thinking about that. So I was from Detroit, Michigan, so I actually attended a different institution. But I've been at Prairie View now. It'll be upcoming on 4 years very, very soon. So it's definitely a hidden gem in Texas. If you live up north, I can attest that it's probably starting to be fall already. But today in Texas was 101. So it's always hot and sunny. We do get some occasional rains here and there, but it's still good. It's still good. We do have a new question that came in. What is the deadline date to apply? The deadline date is we have two. So we have our priority deadline date, which is January 4th. Okay, as well. And so January 4th, priority equals money. Money equals priority. So you want to be admitted to the university by January 4th to be eligible for a lot of our scholarships, financial aid awarding as well too. But if you don't make that deadline, if you're still window shopping for schools, then our regular deadline date is March 1st as well. So that was a great question. Once again, January 4th is priority. Okay, March 1st is going to be our regular application deadline as well. Okay. Yes, I will certainly add my contact information as well. My name is German, so last name is kind of hard, but it's pronounced McKissick. Okay, and I'm gonna put my email address right here as well, and also my office number. And this is my direct line, folks. Okay, I don't believe in putting anybody through no operators, and press 2 for this is my direct phone number as well as my direct email address as well, and and I'm hoping that this is going to be recorded, and they'll be able to post it on the website. But whenever you have any questions, you feel free to reach out to me anytime as well. So let me make sure I got that. We don't have we sort of have early admission. That's going to be the priority deadline date. So our application actually been open since July. So July to January is going to be our quote unquote early admissions as well. So definitely want to be able to do that. The deadline date to apply for scholarships is that January 4th date. So whoever has applied and been admitted by that date will be considered for scholarships as well. You from Detroit too? Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. What up though? Right? So I'm from born and raised 6 Mile in Wyoming, right down the street from Mumford High School, which I think Mumford is still open right now. So yeah, Mumford. I went to Cass Tech, right there, right outside of downtown Detroit. So much love, much love. Let's see. Do you have orchestra? We do have orchestra as well. We have orchestra, the band, choir as well. We also have a wind ensemble as well. So definitely something that you can take into consideration as well too. What are decision date? If you could elaborate that question, just to make sure I gain a correct understanding. That was Kim Gardner. What are decision dates? You might be referring to our deadline dates, and those are January 4th is our priority deadline date, and that's when we start looking at things for financial aid and scholarship information. Consideration. And then our regular application deadline date is March 1st. Okay. After March 1st, we take our application down from Apply Texas. Anybody that hasn't applied by that date will have to be redirected to apply for the spring semester. Excuse me. I'm sorry, the test requirements for this kind. No worries. No need to say sorry. It's all good. So Prairie, we are still requiring our ACT and SAT tests for admissible purposes. We did submit a proposal to our coordinating board. Unfortunately, they say no, we still need to have the test scores for admissions purposes. So, but you don't have to have everything turned in all at once. Okay, so you can submit the application to applytexas.org. You don't even have to pay for it right now. You can pay for it later. It's $40 application fee, and then once those test scores come in, you can just go ahead and send those off to us, and there's going to be no problem right there. Okay. What division? We're Division 1. Division 1 SWAC conference as well. The SWAC conference is a powerhouse conference within our HBCUs, as well as and there's also 2 new HBCUs that just joined the SWAC. So the SWAC is very, very competitive. Athletics is phenomenal. We're sponsored by Adidas as well, and so we're really, really proud of our athletics department as well. Please tell me. I just got here. Okay, yeah, no problem. So we'll go over the minimum requirements once again. So applytexas.org. The application fee is $40. Okay. The GPA requirement, minimum requirement is a 2.8 high school GPA on a 4.0 scale, unweighted. Okay. I repeat, 2.8 on a 4.0 scale, unweighted. Okay. So let's say you go to a high school and let's say your GPA is a 5.0 scale or 6.0. I know on the West Coast, I know everybody's on here from the West Coast, but like California, they kind of go like 8.0 and 9.0. But we go ahead in our office, we go ahead and convert that for you on a 4.0 scale. And if it meets that 2.8 requirement, then that is a minimum requirement. Test scores, 15 ACT or an 800 on the SAT as well. So no problem, Precious. I'm glad you joined into our room. It's better late than never, right? So thanks for joining in with us. Let's see. Okay, great question. So computer science, specifically the video game path. Oh, awesome. So you just kind of like my son. He's a big gamer. So our computer science department is actually under the College of Engineering. I was letting our folks know earlier that the College of Engineering, we actually graduate the most minority engineers in the state of Texas as well. So we're really proud about that. We're actually building a new engineering building as we speak. It should be available next fall, in fall 21. as well. A lot of hands-on opportunity, a lot of development, a lot of they also have an excellent study abroad opportunity to Japan as well too, that they go on in the summertime for students that are interested. So the computer science program is phenomenal. One of our engineering departments, which is specifically for electrical engineering, but always like to share it. It's called Roy G. Perry. He's actually still a living alumnus of ours, and he was actually one of the first to help start IBM. Okay, and so I know my students are probably like, "What is IBM?" But I know my parents like, "I know IBM is." So he started with IBM, which students now is known as Dell as well, and so that's actually a Prairie View graduate. And so our college engineering is phenomenal. We do have a theater and dance program as well, that you can definitely be a part of as well. And yes, I can certainly retype my number. 936-261-1083. Okay, and I'll also put my email address down as well too. Oh, there you are. Great question. When do we start sending out our acceptance letters? Great question. So we typically don't start until October 1st. Okay. I mean, for this school year, due to the COVID-19. So we weren't in office, so we weren't able to like mail out our acceptance letter, right? Because we were all working from home. And then now we're on a scaled back version. So half of our staff is in the office for 1 week, while the other half of the office works from home, and then we flip flop. Okay. So as you can tell from my background, I'm at home. Was Labor Day too, so the university is closed. But I'll be working from home this week, and then next week I will go to the office. So that's kind of how it's working. So it's limited staffing. So acceptance letters are going to be going out a little bit slower. But once a student applies, then they'll actually get an email where they can check their status in live time through our CRM portal. And so that'll give the opportunity to check the status in live time, even once they get admitted. Let's see. How's women's track team? Women's track team is phenomenal. Our track and field has been doing very, very well the last 5 years. And the reason I know that is because I'm a big track advocate. And then we also just built them a brand new track and field stadium as well. So that's only been here it's going on 3 years right now, because the football stadium was built, and then we built the track and field right after that. So definitely a great program. Definitely go to, once again, athletics. It's going to be at pvpanther.com as well. So, and all the coach information is on the directory, so you can definitely reach out to them. Just make sure you don't mess up your NCAA eligibility. You don't want to contact them too early. You just want to make sure the process is definitely good. Okay. Great question. So once you apply to the university, it typically takes, once we have all the documents in, so application, let me back up. So once you do your Apply Texas application, Apply Texas will send you an acknowledgement email stating, hey, we see you submitted your application to Prairie View. We are sending it to Prairie View now. And once we load it, then it takes us about 48 hours to send out another response back to you to let you know, like, hey, PV, we got your Apply Texas application. It's in there. We're good. Then once we get your transcript and your test scores and your application fee or fee waiver, typically takes about 7 to 10 days to make a decision. And then you're notified via the mail as well as an email too. And so we do it both ways. But once everything is submitted, it usually takes 7 to 10 days. But you can always call and check your status at any time. Anybody in the Office of Student Recruitment, as well as anybody in the Office of Admissions, we are separate, but we work hand in hand. We can be able to check that status for you at any time. You are more than welcome, Tony Wade. Thank you for joining in with me and listening to me kind of ramble, give out some good information. You guys are awesome, asking excellent questions, making my Labor Day even better. So this is perfect. So thank you so much. Great question. So eligible for scholarships. Okay. So once again, our priority deadline date is January 4th. Okay. It takes us only about a week to make scholarship decisions. So we start notifying students January 15th. Okay. For fee waivers, once the fee waiver is submitted, it'll automatically get attached to your application. And that usually, depending on how it's sent, if it's electronic, it takes about anywhere from 3 to 5 days, depending on the process and depending on how many number of applications we receive. If it's going to be in the mail, it usually takes 7 to 10 business days as well. Okay. Notified of acceptance will start on October 1st. And so that's where you can kind of start checking your email, checking your mail as well too. Because now that we're able to go back to the office, a lot of students that have been applying since July, they're going to do it in application order. So students that applied in July will hear before students that applied in August, for example. So that's kind of like how our process works for notification. Sorry. The chat jumped on me again. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, women's track. Once again, women's track is really good. What's required for scholarship? That's actually a great question. So if you're referring to a track and field scholarship, athletics, we have to speak directly to them. They make the decision on who gets a full ride, who gets a partial, who has the red shirt. So that's gonna be strictly through their department. We do have a freshman orientation. So we have NSO. It's always held in the summertime. We had it virtual this past summer, and which was phenomenal. And then the week before class start, we have Panther Camp, which that helps you get acclimated to meet all the rest of the incoming freshmen. And then as well as learn a lot of our history and a lot of our chants as well too, through Prairie. So yeah, we do have an orientation. Okay, we just covered athletic scholarships as well. We do have biology as a major. It's going to be on the College of Arts and Sciences as well. We don't have interior design. The closest thing to interior design is going to be with our School of Architecture as well, because they do take some interior design courses within our architectural program. That's probably going to be our second most famous academic major, because we do graduate the most minority architects in the nation. And we've had that for over 5 years. We just built a brand new fabrication center as well, which is about it was like $8 million facility. There's robots in there, wood shop. They build houses. They go like tiny houses, and they can put them on trucks for distribution. So our School of Architecture is phenomenal. Dean Sabuni has been there for 20 plus years. So she has just excelled that school tremendously. Do you offer a medical undergraduate program? We do have biology, chemistry, kinesiology, health, with a lot of those pre-concentration tracks. So for pre-med, pre-pharmacy, pre-dentistry, anything of that sort will be able to happen at Prairie View as well. Can I get a question about it? Okay, so theater. So I'm not fully sure what the audition process is. It is available on our website at pvamu.edu. And if you go under academics and you go to theater, it'll tell you what the audition process is for theater. Okay, dance is gonna be a little bit more different. We have 3 dance teams. We have the Panther Dolls, and we also have the Black Foxes. The Panther Dolls are going to be strictly for athletics. The Black Foxes dance with our Marching Storm within the band, and then we also have our Pantherettes as well too, and they do a lot of athletic events or just events on campus in general as well too. And so that's definitely something they can look into. The dance program auditions are going to be in the spring, so they always happen between March and April, and so that's where you can look on our website to get more information on that. Do you guys offer? Yes. So we are offering a lot of virtual classes due to COVID. But even pre-COVID, we did offer a lot of virtual classes as well too. We just kind of amped it up. We've also enhanced a lot of our classrooms. So a lot of our students are on campus. Some classes are meeting face to face with very, very limited seating as well too. We installed 4K cameras in all of our classrooms, with 360 rotation, so the professor can literally walk around the classroom and engage with the student, and they can see the professor from every angle, as well as they can see some of the students that are sitting in class as well. So that has been an excellent transition for us, and we were fully prepared as well. And so a lot of our students are liking the virtual class concept so far. Okay, let's see. Great question. We have to ask if you send in one test score, right? Let's say you send in a 960 SAT and you retake it and you get an 1100. Can you resubmit it? Certainly. We always take the highest test scores, okay? You can do that within this window before January, before that priority deadline day. Once the priority deadline day ends and we start awarding scholarships, you can't submit a new test score in April and try to get one of our merit scholarships. But you can still do that for any of our departmental scholarships as well, or any other funding available within the university that can look at that new test score. Great question. Will it be consideration for school districts who do not update transcripts until late January for scholarship consideration? That's actually an excellent question. I'm actually going to write that down really fast so I can follow that up with our Office of Admissions office. And certainly email me that question because I don't want to say the wrong information. Okay. So I just dropped my email in there again as well. And let me finish making notes. Sorry, I'll give you 1 second. Make sure we get this down. Okay. And the only reason we don't have an answer to that because in Texas, all of our school districts are open, so none of them are closed. So they're able to update transcripts. But if you're not in Texas, if you're out of state, that's probably an out of state question. So I definitely want to make sure we get that information for you as well. So Ms. Shay, thanks for bringing that to our attention, and we'll definitely will present that to someone tomorrow for sure. We do not have interior design. We don't have a dance major, but you can be part of our dance teams as well. Automatic admission. Automatic admission is offered to the top 25% of the students' class ranking. So if you're in the top 25% of your class, you'll be automatically admitted into Prairie View. Okay, and excuse me, but you still have to turn in your test scores and your transcript. Okay, that's still a requirement, but there's no minimum requirement that you have to meet if you're in that top 25% of your class. Great question. We don't have aerospace engineering, but we do have the college engineering with a lot of different areas and majors in engineering as well. We do have business, the college of business, from accounting, economics, finance. So we do have business. Do you think you will still be there for class 2023? I do. I really hope that I'm still there and still in the same capacity. Or hopefully leading the whole office, right? Be the director. But I am planning to still be here with Prairie View as well. I love the Houston area. My children love the Houston area, so we are here. I do go back home to Detroit every so often, though. So nothing like home, but I will definitely be here. Yeah, great question. Okay, so a couple questions. How's Greek life in a fraternity? Acceptance rates and student to faculty ratio. Oh, okay, great question. So the Greek life for fraternity sororities are excellent. I'm a proud member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And so they do have a lot of community service. They're very involved on campus as well as in the Houston area as well. We also have what's called the Yard, so that's where all of our Greek plots are located at as well. So we have a really good time, and there's a process to join. The acceptance rate right now is going to be at 87% for incoming freshmen. Excuse me. And the student-teacher ratio right now is going to be 18-1. But that's going to be a little skewed now that a lot of our classes are going to be virtual. So now it's going to be 9-1 in the classroom. Hey, keep up the good work. Sophomore year going to go by fast. You'll be a junior and you'll be a senior. So I hope I'm still here as well too. But keep in contact with your high school career as well. Let's see. Okay, juniors ending with the pass for study grades. What GPA can we submit for the application? Okay, so in California, juniors ended with pass or fail instead. Okay, so yeah, we did that for this past semester as well. That actually don't have to answer that question at all either. That's going to be strictly with our director of admissions. So I'm going to make note of that one as well too. And if you could email me that question as well, So when we have our morning meeting, I can present that information as well too. But if it's in my email, I already definitely remember to ask. So I'm gonna drop my email address again, so you'll have it as well. It's a great question. Okay, AC and SAT and GPA requirements. Okay, so yeah, somebody put that one there for you. So yep, that's correct. SAT is 800. ACT is a 15. The GPA requirement is going to be a 2.8 high school GPA on a 4.0 scale unweighted. Okay. If you're on a 5.0 or 6.0 scale, or sometimes even on the West Coast, they're on an 8 or 9, we will go ahead and convert that in our office as well too. And so that's going to be the minimum requirements as well. Okay. Okay, here we go. How's the English program? Okay, we do have an English program, Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science in English as well too. We also have language communications, and so it's a really great major as well too. We have creative writing. Then there's also like editorial studies as well too with an English department, and we can also build that teacher certification in there as well too if you're looking to teach English at the high school level as well. Okay, what is I-State tuition before, aid, and after? Okay, so the I-State tuition, if you're just looking at, if you include tuition and fees, room and board, and meal plan, you'll be looking at around 16 to 17,000. In-state is going to be a little over 9, so about 9,700 as well. Okay. Gotcha, Shantae. Thanks for leaving the email address, and best of luck. You're more than welcome. We do have an engineering department, so electrical, we have civil, chemical, computer science, computer engineering as well too. So we do have the college engineering, which is a phenomenal department. Out-of-state tuition scholarships. So we just kind of covered that. So it's just going to be a little over 16, 17,000 as well. And we do have out-of-state fee waivers. But those are going to be distributed through the colleges, and there's a certain number, and they decide on who gets those or not. Excuse me, I'm for one credit transfer. Yes, we do take dual credit in dual credit coursework. So long as they're going to be your core curriculum, such as like English, history, math, political science as well, foreign language, public speaking, those 40 hours would transfer into Prairie View. So way to be a go-getter and getting that dual credit done. We do have a psychology program as well too, undergraduate option as well that you can matriculate into the master's program as well for psychology. Let's see, schools can't not provide counseling because they are still admitting students and did not provide with GPAs. How would school use application for scholarships? Okay, so they don't do a class rank, but they do, and they don't provide a GPA. Okay, great question. So on your transcript. So do they provide an unweighted GPA, Carmen Edwards, or is it just there's no GPA at all or a class rank? So if you can follow up with me on that, we can get that answer for you. We do accept IB courses as well. The GPA requirement 2.8 minimal as well, on a 4.0 scale with the 15 on the ACT or an 800 on the SAT as well. Okay. The automatic admission is going to be top 25% of your class rank. Okay, so if you're in the top 25% of your class, you submit that to us on your transcript, you'll be automatically admitted into Prairie View, but you still have to turn in your test scores, your application fee, and as well your apply text application as well too. Excuse me. Criminal justice. We do have a criminal justice program that's going to be under our College of Juvenile Justice and Psychology as well. So we have criminal justice and we have juvenile justice as well. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have our own courtroom on campus. So that's why a lot of our criminal justice majors get their hands-on training right there on campus as well. Okay, so how do you apply for financial aid? You just fill out the FAFSA as well. So we accept the FAFSA from any of our in-state or out-of-state students as well too. And we also have any of my Latino students as well. We do have the TASFA as well. And so that is actually an application that's available through our financial aid office, and you will reach out to them to acquire that. Okay, graduation rate. Great question. So in general, the graduation rate, so at Prairie we do do it two different ways, or not at Prairie View. Let's just say the state. The state does it two different ways. So you have your 4-year graduation rate, you have your 6-year graduation rate. Okay. The 6-year graduation rate for Prairie View right now is going to be at 36%. And then for the 4-year graduation rate is going to be around 32%. Okay. The national average is 34 for both. And so we're right at that level. And we have been doing a lot of things to improve that graduation rate as well too. But once again, it's just a because that's going to have all your colleges. But we do have all of our data broken down on our website. So you can actually see the graduation rate for like the College of Education or the College of Engineering graduation rate is probably what you can compare it to, the College of Juvenile Justice and the certain years and 4, 5, or 6-year rate as well too. So a lot of things are going to the graduation rate, but it's going to be very detailed on the website as well. So what are the 3 best programs that we're known for? Is going to be nursing, engineering, okay, and as well as architecture. Those are going to be our 3 most common that a lot of students are interested in when they attend Prairie View as well. So that's what those are. Excuse me. Let's see. How are the business? The business management classes are very, very good. And what's really neat about the College of Business is that we actually require students to dress business professional on Tuesdays. And so that's usually going to be their presentation day. So you will see a lot of our young women in suits and blouses, and they'll have their heels on as they're walking to and from class on the day, because that is one of the requirements. So because if we want to know that you brought you a business attire, if you are going to be a College of Business, and we want to make sure that you adapt, because you see a lot of other students are comfortable, but in the business world you have to be able to become prepared. You have to dress business professional every day, and there is a difference between business professional and business casual, and that's something that we do cover at Prairie View as well. But what's unique about the business management classes is that they're actually going to sit you down, and we're going to go through the stock market, we're going to go through interest rates, we're going to go through inflation. Things that will help a lot of our business management students succeed in the workforce as well too. And the thing is, you get that one-on-one attention because our class ratio is 18-1. So you're going to have that smaller class ratio where your professor is going to know your name. Here at Prairie View, we take attendance. So our professors, and typically they decide if they want to include that for a grade, and it will be on your syllabus on the first day of classes as well. So definitely something to think about. We do have a marching band. It's called the Marching Storm, the best in the land. It's 465 strong, and we go to battle the bands and compete every year. And our band is phenomenal. You have to go through band camp in the summertime. First you go through the audition process, and then they invite you to band camp, and that's pretty much where they see if you can make it or not. It's similar to like getting ready for the football season, 2-a-days, and band is intense, so we don't play about the band. They also get scholarship money as well too, so definitely something to look into. The best chance to apply to be considered for scholarship, that's a great question. The earlier the better, because we use our scholarship app, we use our application date of when you submit it when we go through the scholarship application. So our application has been open since July, so as soon as that applied in July, they might not have been admitted yet, but they've applied. So we use that date because that's going to be a strong indicator that this student is interested in coming to Prairie View. Because you can apply and not pay for the application right now, but you won't get a decision until you pay for the application fee. But I also like to put the application in there to say, hey, I heard about PV. I love purple and gold. I love the information I've heard. Let me at least put my name out there. Let you have all my information, and then you can decide to turn in more information later on as well. Okay. Okay, let's see. What type of support do you have? I see may not be able to show all of things. Oh, okay. Great question. So any out-of-state students, we know that moving, if you're going to the university, it's gonna be new atmosphere. We want you to feel at home. At Prairie View, we're gonna be a family. Okay. And so we for example, if a student is able to go home for Thanksgiving, we have Thanksgiving dinner on our campus. You will have staff that will come onto the campus and engage with our students and make them feel at home. Because once again, as I was kind of talking about housing a little bit earlier, we don't have dorms, we have residence halls. So when you come to campus, we want you to feel like you're at home. You're at your residence, and so we love for our students to be together as well. A lot of our students are really great ambassadors to where, hey, you can't go home this Thanksgiving, but hey, how about you come to my family's house? We live right here in Houston, or we live right here in Dallas. We want you to be a part of it. You're one of my friends, and so we want to help you out as well too. And we also have staff that live on all of our property. So even if it's Thanksgiving break, you're still going to have your 15 living learning coordinators that are living on campus as well too. And they also make them have that family atmosphere as well. Excuse me. Does Prairie offer study? We do have study abroad as well. So we have short programs where it's like a week long. We do also have our long-term programs, and we have affiliations with 46 different countries around the world. And so the College of Business just went to Australia pre-COVID as well. And I mean, there's a ton of different programs that you can be a part of as well. Are legacy students automatically admitted? Great question. The answer to that question is no. Okay. We appreciate your legacy student. We love when our alumni, bring their children, their grandchildren, cousins, nieces and nephews. But they're not automatically admitted. They go through the same application process as any of our students that are first gen students. Let's see. How is the dental? Oh, dental program. So we don't have a dental program, but you can major in biology and be on that pre-med track as well too. And we also have our UMA, which is a honor society on campus, like an honors program, and they have a 91% acceptance rate into medical school. So we do get our students into medical school all the time. So to answer your question about early decision, binding or non-binding, so to help you out, we actually don't have an early decision at all. So we have two application deadline dates. We have the priority deadline date of January 4th, and then we also have our regular application deadline date, which is March 1st. Okay. So as soon as you apply, it's not binding, so you can withdraw your application at any time. Even if you get admitted to the institution and you still decide like, no, Prairie wasn't for me, then it's not binding by any means. Okay. So that was actually a great question. What are the majors, and can't have more info about the juvenile justice program? Okay. So we have 8 colleges. So we have the college of education. So we have over like 45 majors, but specifically for the juvenile justice program, that is going to be helping with our adolescents. So anybody that's going to be 17 years or younger. Okay. And so that is what that juvenile justice is focused on in that program. A lot of hands-on opportunities as well too. Great research opportunities, as well as, once again, we still have that core room that a lot of our juvenile justice students are be able to become a part of as well too. Oh, no problem, Shannon. Definitely got to take accountability, because we have students from all over. We have actually a pretty large international population as well too on our campus, and so we got to make sure that our students are comfortable at the end of the day. And so we love being a very diverse HBCU as well. HBCUs get a very stereotypical that it's only for African Americans, but at my HBCU, we're very diverse. We have people from everywhere, and so we gotta make sure everybody feels comfortable and feel at home. Okay, by any means. So definitely something to think about. The communication program, we do have a communication program. We specialize in newspaper, radio, and radio, newspaper, and in media as well too, television. So those are going to be our 3 areas of concentrations for the communications department as well. So that's definitely something to look into. Performing arts will be theater and music. So we do offer that as well in the College of Arts and Sciences as well. So I know those 3 years are going to go by quick. We do have laundry facilities. So how the laundry works, for example, for University College, where our incoming freshmen live at, we have our own laundry room center. So you do have to leave your room and come outside and go to laundry facility. That's available. But when you get to upperclassmen housing, you do have your own laundry facility in your actual apartment as well too. So that'll be coming through pretty fast. We do have a virtual tour on our website, so you can definitely check it out. Let me go ahead and put that link in here. I said that earlier, but then I got to answering the questions. And so let me grab that link for you all so you can check out the campus as well. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and grab it. There we go. Let's come on back right here. Paste. There we are. So I just dropped our campus tour website link. So definitely you can check it out, browse through it this evening as well. Since everybody's with their family right now, it's a great time to kind of check out the campus as well. We do have a band program as well. The Marching Storm is our band as well, so definitely something to consider. And we do have freshman week. We call it Panther Camp, which is a week before classes start, where that's where we get our students acclimated to university, learn all of our history, our chants. Also, it's really cool at PV. We have what's called the PV Shuffle. So every new class has their own shuffle. And what the shuffle is similar. It's like a choreographed dance. And so our class that just came in, they learned it during Panther Camp. And so whenever their song comes on, you'll see them doing their PV Shuffle. That's definitely something to kind of check out, like on YouTube. You can just type in Prairie View PV Shuffle, and you'll be able to see all the shuffles from all the different years. And that is just one big tradition. That's one of the big traditions at Prairie View is you'll see it when I was doing the programming for it. We had all of our freshmen on the football field doing the shuffle. It was phenomenal. So we do have the freshman week. So for coaches, okay, so you're in 8th grade right now. So you don't want to contact the coaches yet because that'll hurt your NCAA eligibility. Okay, so coaches can't talk to you until you finish 10th grade. But you can reach out. You can inquire to the coaches to see if you can tour it. They typically don't let middle school students in to tour the facility, but once you're in high school, they'll let you tour. But I did drop our campus tour so you can see what the actual university looks like as well. But that was a great question. So to be in the band, you don't have to be a music major. You actually can major in anything you would like. It's just going to be part of the music department as well. ACT requirement is a 15, okay, minimal. If you're taking the SAT, it's going to be an 800, okay? And the GPA minimum is going to be a 2.8 high school GPA as well, okay? Let's see. So to apply, you're going to go through applytexas.org, okay? And the application fee is $40, okay? And so I'm kind of typing that in there as well, too. And with the 15 ACT or 800 on the SAT, and test scores are required to get an admissions decision as well, okay? And we're not waiving the SAT for scholarship applications either. So test scores are still going to be very, very highly considered at the university. Okay. Oh, hello, Miss Kelly. So we do have psychology. We do have psychology department as well too. A lot of hands-on research opportunities. We do have our own courtroom on campus, so a lot of our psychology students like to go and listen in and learn, body movement and facial expression as well too. And then they can also matriculate into the master's program. Definitely. I also put my contact information on there, so I'm glad that she applied already. And paid the $40 application fee. So you can always get in contact with me if you want to follow up on her application status as well too. She should have received an email to check it online. But we're in the business of making sure that we get the information to you. So you can always send me an email, give me a phone call at any time to check that status. Once again, just reiterate, SAT and ACT is not dropped for the fall 2021 semester. So you do need to get that turned into us as well. Once again, athletic scholarships is going to be strictly based off the athletic department. So I'm specifically from the academia admissions process as well. So it just depends on it depends on the sport and what the coaches want to do, depending on their depth, between freshmen and seniors as well, and what to offer and what not to offer. You do have a concentration in journalism through the English department as well. The test is not optional. You do have to turn your SAT as well. Let's see. Make sure it didn't skip anything. Okay. Awesome. Okay, scholarship. So we do have scholarship at academic merit-based scholarship. So we have our regents, which is going to be the full ride scholarship. It's a minimum of a 3.5 high school GPA, 26 ACT, or 1190 on the SAT, and then it goes to our scholarship committee for consideration. We have our next one right under there. It's called the presidential, 3.25 GPA with at least a 24 ACT or a 1090 on the SAT. I'm sorry, for the presidential scholarship as well too. And then we have departmental scholarships as well. We have our university scholarship as well that's available as well. How's the architecture program? Architecture is phenomenal. That's going to be one of our largest programs on campus. We graduate the most minority architects in the nation as well. We just built a brand new fabrication center. So we have our own wood shop, 3D printing. We have robotics in there as well too. And our students also get the opportunity to build houses as well and connect solar panels to those to power them and ship them out for distribution. So architecture is phenomenal as well too. So great question. Is there a waiver for the application? Yes, we do accept the ACT fee waiver, the SAT fee waiver, or the NACAC fee waiver as well. Okay, so those are definitely options to consider as well. We just kind of covered the scholarships as well too. Good question. That's a legit question of what's the food like on campus. So we were partnered through Sodexo, and we've had Sodexo for over 15 years at the institution. We have a lot of different areas on campus depending on what the student likes to eat. So we have of course, you're gonna have your main cafeteria. So that's gonna be where your pizza, your main course, you have sandwiches, cereal, salad. Then we have our cultural area, we like to eat black-eyed peas, fried catfish, all that good stuff, and it is really, really good and appetizing. Collard greens. Then we have our Panther Grill, and we also have a Chick-fil-A on campus as well. I'm pretty sure everybody on here has a Chick-fil-A in their state. If not, you're missing out. It's phenomenal. Great service as well too. Then we also have what's called Panther Plaza. That's where you can get like a burger, frozen yogurt. We also have what's called the Bistro. And the bistro is going to be like your fine dining experience. So, it's usually busy during Valentine's Day. That's when everybody trying to stunt, go on dates, and they go to the bistro because a little pricey is like going to like a Ruby Tuesdays or Fridays or Cheddar's. So it's a nice little area to go to as well. And then last but not least, we have the zone. And the zone is for anybody that, that's kind of like dietary restrictions. So like keto, or if they're on the paleo diet as well, or they just want to just decide to eat healthy that day, because they had a Big Mac yesterday, like we're going to have a salad today, they would go eat at the zone. So definitely something to consider as well. Please explain the okay. So the relationship between Texas A&M, we are part of A&M system. So we actually open up on the same day, what a lot of people don't know. So Texas A&M opened up in the morning, and then we opened up as a land-grant college right there in the afternoon on the same day. Okay, so and so we do have an affiliation with their vet program. So if you're a college of if you're a animal science major and you graduate, you are allowed to apply to their veterinarian program as well, and meet the same type of criteria as any other student would have to meet for that vet program. We do have a performing arts. We do have the theater as well too, and music and choir and orchestra, wind ensemble. So definitely something to consider. Our automatic admissions. So is going to be top 25%, regardless if you live in Texas or, if you live up in Maine or if you're in Colorado or kind of down there skiing in Utah. If you're in the top 25% of your class, it is automatic admission, but you still need to turn in your test scores, your application fee as well. But you still have to get that decision rendered. How do we start gaining looks and scholarships? 8th grade. Okay, yeah. So at this point in time, the best thing to do is to stay focused on 8th grade, and then once you get to 9th grade, that's when you want to start visiting colleges. And then if you're playing sports, that's when you want to start keeping your film, keeping your highlights up together. And what I'm gonna tell you is straight up. This is what I tell my son every day: is that you got to start strong. Okay, a GPA can fall quick, way faster than it can go up. Okay, so if you start, my advice for anybody that's in 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th grade is you gotta keep your GPA strong, because you can already picture that school's gonna get harder as you get older. Correct? So what you have to do is you gotta start strong. So if you can keep that 3.5 or higher through your 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, and then your senior, you might be a little distracted, and let's say something happens, and but you've had that 3.5 and you go to a 3.4, well, it's not going to weigh as heavy because you got all those other strong classes to back it up. So, and also keep in mind that when you are applying to colleges and university, remember, we're using your GPA from your 11th grade year. So really, your senior year really doesn't count. Okay, we want to be completely honest. So we're looking at your 9th, your 10th, and your 11th grade GPA. So at the end of your at the end of your 11th grade, and as you see, as you learn from a lot of universities, is that the deadline dates are just getting closer and closer. Okay, so like with us, January 4th and March 1st, is something to consider as well too. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. So that's an excellent question. Private fall 21 given independent. Why was it not decided to go test? Oh, great question. So we actually didn't. I shouldn't say we. Me personally did not get to read the memo on why it was not decided to go to test optional. But I know just from experience of being in higher education is that the test score, even though it was optional for admissible purposes, a lot of people were still requiring their test scores for like scholarship consideration as well, or placement within a specific college as well, like in the College of Nursing. So we're like, instead of making it optional just for it to be admitted, you still got to have it for scholarships and a number of other things. So why not just still make it a requirement for the application process? And so that's probably what made them decide to go that route. So that's a great question. Excuse me. High school transcripts, you can request them from your high school counselor, and your high school counselor can send it to us specifically. We count every high school counselor as a deemed representative of the high school district. So if that transcript or test scores comes from your high school counselor as in an email format, we will accept it. We also accept electronically. If you live in Texas, it's going to be through T-Rex. We also accept transcripts through Parchment as well too. And so that's kind of some terminology that your high school counselors would know, and that's how they can be submitted to us. Scholarship applications opens up. Okay, that's kind of a bigger question because we have different types. So the merit-based scholarship is technically open now because it's based off of your GPA and your test scores, and then we start awarding that at the middle of January. The university scholarship general opens up in November, and then the departmental scholarships, those have their own specific dates because those actually come from the college, and now I have to find that information online. We do have our ROTC program. We have all 4 branches as well. So not commission-based ROTC program, so you can do it for 2 years, and then you can decide if you want to continue on to our armed forces. We are not on the Black Common App or the Common Application currently. We are only on applytexas.org. That is the only way to apply to Prairie View right now. The city of Prairie View, not gonna lie to you, we're considered rural and it's very, very small. But we are literally 30 minutes from Houston. Okay, so a lot of students go to Houston all the time. There's even a closer city that's about 10 minutes away called Cypress. And Cypress is a major suburb of Houston. They have like 12 high schools out there in Cypress. So That's where a lot of students go to the mall and the movies and, hair and nails done. Now, the good thing is, I didn't mention this at all today, but at our Panther Plaza, we do have our own beauty supply on campus. So if a student has to go and get any wigs, weave, grease, wave brush, I haven't had no waves in a long time, but you can go there and get whatever your essentials are right there on campus. So very, very convenient as well too. Let's see. We are still considering the SAT or the ACT, so definitely we look at both. So GPA and your test scores for admissible purposes. How's campus life? Is there ever any trouble? Nope. Prairie View is very, very quiet campus. Not a lot happens. I figure just based off the rural atmosphere of it, and the citizens that do live in Prairie View love their Prairie View students and are attributed to them as well. And then we also have our own University Police Department where we have 19 sworn officers, and so they definitely keep the peace, as well as our parking management department as well too. And we also have a campus alert system as well too. Yes, so yeah, I can describe housing. Housing, we have University College. So we don't have dorms on campus, we have residence halls. And so when you get on campus, it is a residence. So grade coming freshman is going to be hotel style format. 2 people per suite. The bathroom is actually in the middle, so we don't have any community style bathrooms at all on our campus. So you just share a bathroom with 1 student. We provide a desk, refrigerator, microwave that's shared amongst the 2 students. I call it a step-in closet. Okay, so no walk-in closet. So you got to be seasonal when you're bringing clothes down. But you get your step-in closet, pick what you got, and that also comes with a full-body mirror as well too. I know it's a big feature for a lot of my ladies. And then that's how our housing process is for incoming freshmen. For upperclassmen, they're going to be apartment style, either a 2-bedroom or 4-bedroom floor plan for the most part. And freshmen are allowed to have their cars their first year. Parking cost is $100 for the year, $50 in the fall, $50 in the spring semester as well. Okay. We do have a psychology program as well. And also, okay, summer school. Great question. So, do you allow students who graduate from high school to? Yes. So you can come for summer school. You just have to apply for the summer semester. So instead of applying for August 2021, you would apply for June. Okay. And then in June, you will start those classes. We do have what's called summer bridge programs. The summer bridge programs give students opportunity to take 2 classes in the summertime and get 6 hours of collegiate work as well too. And those are sponsored by different colleges as well too. Now, due to COVID-19, this past summer we only had a couple that are available online. But other than that, we also typically they're going to be in person, and they're either going to be 1 summer semester long, or it takes both summers to complete those coursework as well. Let's see. All right, so we got 2.5 minutes left. Okay, so let me see. I'm taking my SAT in a few. That's an application. Yes, please. If you already have taken your SAT and you already told them to send it to us automatically, please go ahead and submit the application now. It's always better to have the application on file, so when the SAT loads in, it's going to attach right there to your application. So certainly, students, if you've already taken your test scores and you already want them to be sent to Prairie View and you haven't applied, please apply. You can do it tonight. ApplyTexas.org, okay? You don't have to pay for it right now, okay? We're not offering any fee waivers at all, but you can at least submit the application before applying before submitting the payment to the university, okay? So definitely you can apply. Yep, so we do have camps. We do have summer camps as well for any of our students that are going to be 11th grade or younger. And those are going to be typically, those are also going to be based on the academics. So it kind of use that hands-on opportunity to help you pick your major once you do decide to come to Prairie View. So we do have those camps. Anyone interested in our summer camps is pvmu.edu/summer. And that'll cover Summer Bridge and our summer camps as well. Excuse me. We do take dual credit and college credits from all over the nation as well internationally. So you just have to have that college transcript submitted so we can see that final grade, so we can apply that to your Prairie View degree plan. So definitely great question. Yeah, so the scholarship information is going to be pbamu.edu/FAISD. But FAID. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that link in here as well for you. That's going to take you to our financial aid website as well. Okay. Awesome. Would you happen if you are to do a enrollment courses that is different from your intended major? Great question. So if you earn certification prior to Prairie View, typically what we do with those courses is we would just drop those in as a minor as well. So definitely something to consider as well. And if not, let's say you didn't get the full certificate, then those classes might either go in to your major or it might come in as elective credit as well. Let me see. Okay, so I'm going to answer these last few questions, and then I know our program ends at 6. Do you have a vet? We do have a nursing program. We have a pre-veterinarian program through our College of Agriculture and Human Sciences as well. And we do have our own nursing. The college nursing is actually downtown in the downtown Houston area in the medical center as well. I'd say tuition is going to be a little over $17,000 for tuition fees, room, board, and meal plan. Chair does not have a full ride scholarships, and we look at unweighted GPA. So I don't know what scale you are on, but unweighted might take you down to maybe a 3.5, 3.6, but that will be good enough because the minimum for Prairie is a 2.8. Oh, awesome. So I got through everybody's questions. Once again, my name is Jonathan McKissick, and I'm actually the campus engagement coordinator, as well as university recruiter with Prairie University. I want to say thank you for everyone that joined with me today. You guys are phenomenal. You guys asked a lot of great questions. I'm going to put my contact information in here again. So definitely keep in touch. I met people from my home city of Detroit. I met some people from Missouri. I met some people from Texas, as well as on the West Coast in California. It's just a blessing to have these type of platforms that we can interact with people all around the world and able to provide some really, really great knowledge as well. Prairie View, we will be having our virtual events will be rolling out very, very soon. Our first big one will be in November, so please look out for that. It's called Senior Down the Hill. And we will have a lot of interaction. We'll have a lot of Panther chats. And so we like to engage, and we like everyone to become a full-fledged Panther, okay? Because right now, all of my students, we call them our Panther Cubs. But once they get admitted, they're a full-fledged Panther. So, but once again, Jonathan McKissick, my email address is going to be coming out very, very soon. And we're going to put my office number right here as well. And this is my direct line, folks. So I don't believe in going through the operators and press 2 for, so I like to just get that direct contact. Email is going to be the best option just because we are working from at home as well as going to and from the office. Sometimes the phones act up, but email never messes up, and it always comes to my cell phone, so I can always answer that immediately as well. You guys have an excellent Labor Day weekend. Stay blessed, stay safe as well too from COVID and everything else that's going on in the world as well. So at Prairie View, we're gonna do one chant that is very, very famous at PV. So how it works is I will say PV, and you will say but I'm not gonna be able to hear you, so I'm gonna do both. So PV, awesome. So that is our main chat. So definitely go check us out on YouTube. We have a lot of cool videos as well. And I look forward to seeing you all at another program here in the future. Have a blessed one.